And we are back with the third segment of the GSMC basketball podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this segment, I just wanted to do, a little bit of a segment showing us talking about money in basketball. Now, if you notice, there have been a lot of free agent deals, and there have been a lot of possible signings, and that shatter bank accounts. Now, the reason why I say it like this is because the amount of money that a lot of these players could end up making, or that they are making, is absolutely ridiculous. So, for example, let me just go ahead and pull up the details of the contract. All right, here we go. So right now, Luka is currently on a 5-year, $215 million designated extension that he signed in 2022-2023, and it has a player option for the final year in 2026 and 2027. Now, one of the things that make that I'm looking at the article right now, he then becomes eligible to sign a 5-year, $346 million Supermax extension next year in the 2025 offseason. So with this contract in mind, like he can make either $215 million to $346 million just off of NBA contracts alone. That is a lot of money, but you'd expect somebody who's this good at basketball. I mean, Luka Doncic is ridiculous at basketball. You'd expect somebody this good to be making this much money in the NBA. But you look at Jordan Poole, and you look at his contract. So basically, a little bit of background on Jordan Poole. So he plays for the Wizards. He's averaging 17 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists on 41% shooting from the field. And like again, the shooting numbers, they're really, really bad. I mean, 41% from the field, and I believe 33% from 3, which, I mean, given how 32% from 3. Given what the situation that he's been on before, and given the way that he's played on other teams like the Warriors, it's kind of bad. Like, his performance is really it's not something that was expected of him. Now, let me just go ahead and pull up his contract details, and he is one of the most paid players on the Washington Wizards, and he signed a 4-year, $128 million contract, and like again, that's just how much money he's going to be making with his entire time on the Wizards. So with all of this, so this is a lot of money. Like, this is just a ridiculous amount of money for somebody who's only averaging 17 points per game, especially when you take into account the recent contract that was signed by Justin Jefferson. Now, Justin Jefferson is a rookie wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, and he's arguably one of the best players in the NFL. And to be fair, he's essentially right now he seems to be the best player that isn't a point guard, which again, it's really, really good when you look at the rest of the the ratings and the amount of money that the rest of those players are making. I mean, being considered to be one of the football is a very team sport. There's a lot of players on just one team, and there's a lot of different positions. So being named the best non-quarterback in the NFL means that you must really stand out, especially at the wide receiver position, where there's a lot of really good receivers that are out there in the league. But So Jefferson, with all that in mind, with all his, and for all of you guys who like actually pay attention to football, you guys know how good Jefferson really is. He's making $140 million on his 4-year contract extension. So 140 million. That is only, if I look at the rest of the numbers, that is only 10 million off of what Jordan Poole is making. Like, that is a very, the difference between money is, it's not all that much. I mean, 10 million is, like, to us it seems like a very huge jump in money, but in terms of contract deals and with how this contract is structured, it's more or less like, he's making a lot of money, especially considering, like, like, that is the contract that we're looking at. 4 years, 140 million, belongs to the best non-quarterback player in the NFL. Meanwhile, 128 million, which is literally 10 million less, belongs to one of who, well, a lot of people consider him as one of the most unproductive point guards in the NBA right now. Like, he's that level of bad. Unfortunate as it is for Jordan Poole, that's how bad he's been playing, and that's how bad he is in the regular season. That's how bad he's been, and it's really surprising how Justin Jefferson is only making only like 10 million more than Jordan Poole. Like, when you think about it, Jordan Poole should be making so much less than what uh Justin Jefferson is making, and it's like, again, it's just it's like, how are they making so much money? How is he making so much money compared to the NFL? And I'm honestly very surprised how the NBA's, like, the amount of contracts that the NBA has offered to all of these, to some of these players, like the contracts that they can get, it's amazing, like how much money they can acquire in all of these contracts. It's really, like, it's kind of annoying when you look at how often they play the games and how they're literally looking to skip some games. But, aside from that, it's really ridiculous just how much money these athletes are making. So, I mean, the fact that Jordan Poole, I mean, is one of the highest paid guards in this league, despite his numbers, it's really, like, it's ridiculous. And it's guaranteed money. Like, it's the amount of guaranteed money that he signed for was crazy. Now, the fact that Jefferson's, like, I mean, he, think about it, 35 million per year. That is how much money he will be making every single year. So that is 5 million less than what Jordan Poole is going to be making every single year. And for it to just be 5 million less, it seems like there's, like, it doesn't sound right. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it just doesn't sound right to me, because it's like, again, this is one of the best wide receivers ever, that, I mean, now he's in conversations of being one of the best to ever touch a football. And here we have Jordan Poole, who's nowhere near the best player to touch a basketball, making only 5 million less. I mean, I think it's crazy, but that's basically the only time. That's basically all the time that we have in this third segment. So now we will go ahead and go into the fifth segment, where we talk a little bit about the San Antonio Spurs and where they should go with this lineup as well, and what they should really be doing with the offseason now at their disposal. So I will be right back after this short break. Be sure to stay tuned.